Hey, I hear something. Oh, and I'm Dan Schinder with
Steven Schinder,
on Yesshift.
Father Son podcast. You're the father, I'm the son, just in case people are unfamiliar.
And we cover pretty much everything related to the band Yes and their extended family and the periphery beyond that, and sometimes some surprises who show up in that universe.
Yeah, for sure. And today as we alluded to, the other day we were talking about the new album news, and now today, March 10th, the single is out, first song from the album, Cut from the Stars. And we have some thoughts from that, but there's also a press release that came out about the new album. It's really long, so we'll just read some of it, and then if there's a post with the whole thing, which I'll put in the comments after we do all this. But why don't you go ahead and start reading that press release, Dad?
Sure, and I want to encourage everybody to chime in with Steve and I on your thoughts on the news, the artwork, the video, the music, all the comments and things that you'll hear from band members and other items in the press release, which goes like this: 10th March 2023. Supposed to read the intro part like that. Yes, who are Steve Howe, Jeff Downs, John Davison, Billy Sherwood, and Jay Schellen, are pleased to announce their new studio album, Mirror to the Sky, on Inside Out Music, Sony Music, on the 19th May 2023. This is, in quotes, this is a very important album for the band, says Steve Howe, Yes's longest serving member, master guitarist, and producer of Mirror to the Sky. We kept the continuity in the approach we established on the quest, but we haven't repeated ourselves. I love that because they kind of never have. The only argument I could think of for that is Close to the Edge to, well, Relayer isn't right after that. So yeah, not even that. I don't think
Right,
they've
and I
really
mean,
repeated themselves.
Fragile and Close to the Edge have the same lineup, but they still feel like pretty
Vastly
different from each
different.
other.
Yeah, in some ways, vastly different. Then he says, after saying they haven't repeated themselves, that was the main thing. As Yes did in the 70s, from one album to another, we're growing and moving forward. In later years, Yes often got going, but then didn't go to the next thing. That's true. Not necessarily a bad thing, but that's a correct observation by the man himself. This album is demonstrative of us growing and building again. For Yes, the next thing is a collection of high energy, intricate, lush, and layered studio songs for an album which adds to the band's much heralded legacy while charting a path to exciting future times ahead. Future time? Oh, I love that those adjectives: high energy, intricate, lush, and layered new studio music. That's what everyone's been waiting for since, well, how long's it been? I'm sorry, Yes members, since Heaven and Earth, since before Heaven and Earth. For some people, since Open Your Eyes. To me, Open and Eyes is somewhat intricate and definitely lush and definitely layered. I know an argument and a border skirmish can be made for every single album, but those words are really nice to hear. That's cool.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, sorry. I'm just gonna talk for a bit at the moment. Check my volume because I was like looking at the stream earlier and it wasn't sure if I was loud enough, so I'm just testing that out real quick.
Oh, I think I know
Um,
why. You know what, folks? It's because they turned that other thing down. Hold on, folks. You're going to see some controls, and there we go. Behind the curtain, it's gone. Okay, you're fine. Go ahead.
okay. Yeah. So I guess I should be sounding better
Yeah,
now.
but let's start over.
Um,
Just kidding.
I mean, we could, but
No, no,
I
no.
mean,
It's
it's
a
fine. Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah. So um, yeah, they released the new song, and I'll put the link to that, the YouTube link, in the comments real quick.
Then we
I
got
see
all kinds of
Henry.
goodies to show you guys too. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, I just saw Henry Potts comment saying that works. So thanks for letting us know,
Cool.
and
Thanks, Henry.
yeah, and also thanks for like keeping that Bondagazoo site up. Always like reporting the Yes News on there.
Yeah, awesome
It's
site. Go ahead and put your site in the comments there if you'd like. It's a great site. We appreciate the resource.
yeah. So And then we have the different formats that Mirror to the Sky is in. We have like some photos, which Dad will show on the screen here. And I'll go ahead and read what the formats are. They won't be in sync with the pics. I'm just going to read what's on here
Yeah,
on
and
the
I'll
website.
just kind of click through.
Yeah. And they're also like like apparel and stuff. So that's really neat. Um, so on yesworld.com, you go to the store section, and I see like 4 different formats here. One of them is the 2 CD digipack, and for us in the US, that's $15.98. There's the 2 CD plus Blu-ray art book bundle, that's $59.99. I really liked the one that they did for the Quest, so that one really catches my eye. But there's also the Mirror to the Sky neon purple double vinyl.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it's $42.98 for us.
I want to get that just to sit and hold it up and look through it at my light while the music's playing.
Yeah, and there's also the Mirror to the Sky transparent electric blue deluxe bundle and this is vinyl, yeah. It looks like it has vinyl and 3 CDs. Or actually 2 CDs and 1 Blu-ray, because it shows a Blu-ray art book in that
and the
picture.
booklet and a poster.
Yeah, that one is very tempting to me. So I'm kind of torn on whether to get that or to just get the Blu-ray art book.
I'm not looking at the notes, but I'm going to guess at the price of that. I'm going to say $142 US.
What the one with the electric blue and the poster and art books? That one is $99.99.
Oh wow, that's good. I like that.
Yeah. Yeah, and these look really nice. And also on the store, they've added Mirror.
By the way, I think that last one is the Recession Fighter product.
Oh,
because it's just a good deal, man.
Yeah, and so in terms of apparel, there's a Mirror to the Sky album navy T-shirt. That one's $45. As is the Crystal Wash T-shirt. That one has like kind of a retro feel to it. And there's a I don't know why it's called this, the Slouchy Ladies T-shirt. That one is $40.
A slouchy because it's kind of like, you know, the head thing I wear, the slouchy. It's saggy. It's just kind of floppy, as opposed to like athletic fit, tight fit.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Slouchy, like your brother. Just kidding.
Yeah, and there's also the embroidered dad hat. It's got the Yes logo on the front, and on the back it says Mirror to the Sky. And there's also the Mirror to the Sky embroidered album patch. That one's $15, and the hat was $35, which I forgot to mention just now. But yeah, what do you think of these formats as well as these products that they've added to the store, Dad?
I think they're great, and we'll get back to the lineup. I think they're great. I mean, it's nice that they're merchandising it all. It'd be interesting to see on the tour how many people are wearing those different things of apparel, you know?
Yeah. And again, you know, just advertising the new album, making sure it's represented. I think that's great. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very cool. I like that package with everything, with the CDs, the Blu-ray, the booklet, and the poster. I think that's cool.
Yeah, there's a pre-order link, so people can go to like whichever site they prefer. I'll just put that in the comments. And yeah, so do you want to talk about the lineup real quick, Dad?
Yeah, and I have so much to say about that. First of all, we'll get to the music, but the lineup, proven by the music, really holds up. And you know, I was thinking earlier, shortly before Steve and I started, that, you know, there's always these people, bless your hearts. I know you've got your opinions and all of that about, you know, it's not yes unless, you know, fill in the blank. And I'm just so over that. I'm so tired of it. I don't care. It's up to yes who yes is. And if it's not for you, here's another way to, that's okay. But you don't have to be a dick about it. And here's another way to look at it. Just listen to the music. Do you like the music or not? Totally out of context of who the personnel is or what the band's called. Do you like the music? Because that's really what it's all about. But to say it's not yes without That's like saying, yeah, the Bulls aren't the Bulls without Michael Jordan. They're a tribute team. Or yeah, the Rams without Merlin Olsen from the 60s and early 70s. It's not really the Rams anymore. It's just so stupid. It's stupid. And I wonder, like, I'm a big Jethro Tull fan, but I'm not a member of any Jethro Tull online groups or forums. I don't listen to Jethro Tull podcasts or vlogs. I wonder if they go through the same thing, because Ian has had lineup changes since the very beginning, and are people saying this? Like, I just don't get it. I don't get it.
Yeah, like it's fine for people to have their preferences in terms of the eras and to say, the new stuff's not for me, but I get tired of like whenever there's a new post, like something new gets posted, and there's always these comments like people replying with it's not yes unless blah, or no John Anderson, no yes. And it's just like they've probably said it like a million times already, so why regurgitate it
Yeah.
again ad nauseum? Like
Just scroll past it.
Yeah.
No one cares. No one's listening. No one cares. And for the record, my favorite lineup, and I know this won't hurt anybody's feelings, is Alan White, Rick Wakeman, Chris Squire, Steve Howe, and John Anderson. I saw that lineup many times. But I still love the Open Your Eyes and the Ladder lineup. I love the Close to the Edge and Fragile lineup. I love this current lineup. I love the Drama lineup. I mean, it doesn't take them as much as I love my favorite. I'm not letting that take away from this lineup or their music. I totally judge by the music. I'm not fond of Heaven and Earth. I'm not fond of it at all. I can't hum one passage in my head, but I don't hate the band or just tuned them out because of that. People get so married to this shit. It's unreal. How much time do you have? I mean, with all this stuff going on in the world, really? That's what you're going to bitch about? I just don't get it. I don't get it.
Right, yeah.
Is to wind people up like me to have these stupid tirades. Anyhow, go on. Let's go through the lineup again. Why don't you go through it? They're on the screen.
Right. So we have John Davison on vocals, Billy Sherwood on bass, Jay Shellen on drums, Jeff Downs on keyboards, and of course Steve Howe on guitar. And so it's really cool that we have a photo of this lineup to represent this. I see in the comments Dave Watkinson says no ELP, no Pink Floyd, no King Crimson, no Genesis, but we do have a Yes and a tour and an album. Pretty good, eh? We should be happy. We have all of this and Roger Dean. And yeah, I agree. I'm very thankful for that we have this band, and we also have like some other artists playing Yes music, and it's like the more the merrier in my opinion.
Yeah, and I read something earlier, someone was disgruntled saying, Steve Howe's the longest standing member and he's not even an original Yes member. Well, before Alan passed away, he was the longest standing and consistent Yes member because he had been on every album since he joined the band in 1972. But again, I don't think that means anything. Steve's been in the band for over 50 years. I think he's earned
on and off, but he's like cemented his reputation in the band.
Exactly. This is what he's known for. He's done Asia. He's done a ton of solo stuff, but this is what he's known for, and it's in all intents and purposes kind of his band now to whatever degree. Not to diminish the ranking of any other of the people in the band. You know what I mean? Billy's been more involved than anybody in many different facets of the band.
Yeah, like he's like, if there is a leader of the band, it's Steve Howe. But when I get annoyed when people call it the Steve Howe band, because when I hear that nickname, like to me, like if I hear Steve Howe band, I think, oh, it's Steve Howe and some people playing some of his solo stuff and maybe some Yes stuff. But this is like mainly Yes stuff with a full band, so I don't see it as like the Steve Howe band.
Exactly. So that's our 3 cents on the 2 cents of BS that's always out there.
Right.
But Dave Watkinson makes a firm point, even though Carl Palmer's going out on tour with projected Keith and Greg, which is really cool. But
Yeah, on the screen. Yeah.
yeah, but this is cool. Okay, next.
Yeah, so let's talk about the song itself, Cut from the Stars. I'm just scrolling down to our questions that we have. So, what were your first impressions of this song when you first listened to it, Dad?
A great production by Steve. Great production by Steve Howe. And the composition I love. I think John's voice sounds great. Um, it's not. It's got some intricacy to it, just like alluded to in the press release. I'm really happy with it, and it makes me excited to hear the rest of the album. How about you?
Yeah, so when I first listened to it, I was like, okay, this is good. I give it a solid B. I've listened to it several times since then. I'm still trying to like wrap my head around it because I feel like it's a track that I need to get used to before really memorizing it. Because I think back to when before the quest, they dropped the Ice Bridge as their first single, and I was blown away by that one right away. And that was like before all the controversies and whatever. We don't need to get into that, but like in terms of the writing, but like I was blown away right away. Whereas this, like Cut from the Stars, it's a good song, but it doesn't blow me away in the same way. Like I think it's solid, but it does get me curious, like what the rest of the album will be like. Like, will this be um my third or fourth favorite? Will other songs like will the longer songs be my favorite off the album? It's hard
Right.
to quantify, but it gives a good idea of what the Yes sound is right now, I guess you could say. I do. Sorry, Jiwago, or
No, go ahead. Go ahead and finish. Sorry.
oh, I was just gonna say, I do hear a little bit of Arc of Life, which makes sense because three members are in both bands. But I also am reminded of late '90s, yes, like Keys to Ascension 2, the latter even, and the ending bit even reminds me of Open Your Eyes, that album a bit. But yeah, you were saying?
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't remember. Maybe you have it or remember who wrote this particular song, but I do hear a lot of uh, John Davison influence, and even going back to Glass Hammer a little bit. Some of the stuff you played a year and a half ago when we were on that trip, but Arc of Life as well. Um,
Yeah, I see that John Davison and Billy Sherwood are both listed as composers and lyricists.
there you go.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I definitely feel Billy's presence on this one. So yeah, it feels very modern. It feels like a new type of Yes. I didn't go in expecting a throwback type of album, so
right.
I think it's really solid for what it is.
Yeah, Billy's definitely in the presence of. Can you imagine? Hello, is
Yeah,
this thing on?
yeah. So after listening to this, what are your expectations for the other songs on the album, if you have any?
I I kind of do. I expect them to be like this and even more embellishments of this,
Okay.
of these textures and the styles and everything. Yeah, techniques. How about you? And by the way, folks, Steve and I don't talk about this. Like we may make one comment to each other and then we really have to bite our tongues and save it for the show. The one thing I did ask Steve was when I knew from our release about this the other day that they were using an orchestra again, and then I heard this song, I asked Steve, I thought, do you think they'll pull out anything from Magnification? Since, wouldn't that be neat if they toured this with an orchestra? I haven't heard how much orchestra they're using on the whole album, but I'd love to see that again. That was one of my absolute favorite tours. And along with Songs from Tsongas, it's my favorite DVD from the symphonic tour in Amsterdam. Just love that. Just love that.
Yeah, the violins really stick out at the beginning of this song.
Yeah.
And the lyrics are very cosmic. And again, I need to listen to this some more times in order to get the lyrics cemented in me. Um, so there's also a music video that came out for this today. Um, How well would you say the music video matches the song?
I think pretty well, although I haven't read the lyrics. But my personal opinion about that sort of thing is I don't I don't prefer videos that aren't showing the band play the music. That's what I want to see. I appreciate and respect the storytelling or storyline videos, and this one's a beautiful piece of work, visually, graphically. I've been in video over 20 years. I get how much work must have gone into this. It's gorgeous, but I don't feel like I need to watch it with the song because it just doesn't, I don't see the story unfold unless I just don't know the story yet. And I'd rather just see my guys playing. That's just me. It's a
Yeah.
beautiful piece of work. How much it matches, I can't answer yet because I haven't got my head around the whole story yet or read the lyrics. I hope that's
Yeah,
fair
I mean
and makes
it
sense.
does show some of the lyrics in the video, but
Yeah.
yeah, they kind of fly at you. The stars and the desert, like they match the song thematically, I'd say. But like you, I would like to see the band perform. And the most we got was like the Yes logo at the beginning, and at the end we got like the cover of Mirror to the Sky.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's kind of a step backward from what the music videos for the Quest were like. Those at least included pictures of the band members and some of the art from the Quest throughout some of those videos. Um, so, it's nicely made, but I feel like some of the video, it looks kind of like it could just be for any band if you're not familiar with the music and don't already know it's a Yes song. Like, it kind of looks generic, like it could be for any band. There's not much about the visuals, the landscapes, and whatnot
I hope
that
they're
feel
not going to be
very
mad at us.
Yes-ish. Right. Well,
We're in the process of scheduling interviews, and I especially don't want Bill Bruford mad at us.
well,
It's a
I
beautiful
like.
video, though. Maybe I
Yeah,
need to watch it a
it's
few more times. It's a great
yeah,
piece of
like the
art.
visuals are good. It's just I don't know. And this isn't the only band that this happens to. Like there are other bands who have videos like this, but it's just
Yeah, and I
it is
admit
what it is.
this is a very subjective thing, and it's my personal preference. I'd rather just see them in the studio recording it, or sound checking, or rehearsing it, or performing it. I That's just me. Otherwise, I don't need to see a video.
Yeah. So for you, how does this song compare to The Ice Bridge in terms of like a first single, like I
I
talked about
like
earlier?
this better, I think, believe it or not.
Okay.
Yeah. I get what you were saying about the ice bridge, but this, I don't know, this feels more advanced. It feels more
Mm.
like the composition and even production as much as I liked the ice bridge. This is starting to feel more like there's a bit more, the sound's maturing and developing. They're
Okay.
developing. It's more forward and upward, I think, from that.
Okay, yeah. I think I might be in the minority opinion, just from looking at comments across the different groups and videos and stuff. I saw a lot of people saying they prefer this. So, like, this feels like a step forward. I think people who are into the direction of Yes post John Anderson see this as a step forward in general. There were outliers here and there who may not have preferred it as much, and there are some who found it okay, but still a step up above like the last couple efforts. And of course, there are like people here and there who just aren't into it. So I would say at the very least, reactions are mixed, and at most, there's a lot of positivity. Like I've seen a lot of positive comments
Yeah.
about this. People excited about this song and the upcoming album. Even from a couple people who haven't been into the recent stuff have said that they love this song. So
Yeah, and
yeah.
one thing that I haven't seen and that we haven't talked about is I think it's very valid to say that this is clearly helping to keep the torch of the progressive rock genre alive as well. It's very much, there's no question where this music so far sits as far as a style or genre. Would you agree?
Right, yeah. Cuz prog rock can be very um what's the word? Like it can be very out there, but people can still have their idea of how it sounds when they think of the genre. But I think this even kind of stretches a bit like what prog rock can be, if that makes
Yeah.
sense. Like it's not what you would expect it to be, especially from Yes. This song feels very fresh, very new. Um, yeah, like again, like even if a bunch of people like this song a little bit more than I do, it still is being innovative and stretching out the Yes sound, which I appreciate.
Yeah. One thing I admit I have not done, and I've listened to it 3 times since it came out. What was that, yesterday that it came out?
No, it came out today. Today, well, it was like late at night
Yeah.
for us in our region. Yeah.
So I think I've heard it 3 times, and one thing I haven't done is just played it really loud. I'm going to play it in my studio through my 1200-watt PA and just see what's going on there.
Okay. Yeah, I've played it on my laptop, like with and without earbuds, and on my phone with earbuds.
Oh,
So,
cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm curious to see how it flows with the rest of the album. We were talking about the album titles the other day, and I think there's gonna be like some thematic connections between the songs, even if they're not all one story.
Right. No, I agree. Can I start reading some fan comments?
Yeah, go ahead.
And feel free to chime in these comments on the show, folks, if you're watching live, and even afterwards, we'll review them. But Kevin McKevergan says, first song is refreshingly good. Chris and Alan are channeled well. I agree with that, while Jay and Billy still being themselves. And obviously they were influenced, so that's valid.
Yeah.
And yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, Kevin also commented recently saying the track has circa and drama energy.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Andrew Boyle says, I like it. Have to hear the CD next. Max Hunt, I love it, or just love it. George Kurtz, love it with 4 exclamation points. Great bass work. Awesome. You want to read the rest?
Yeah, Eric Toll says Cut from the Stars is great. Tor Morton Andreasen Figgin Show, I hope I pronounced that correctly, says love the song. Greg Holwell says if Owner of a Lonely Heart, with all its overproduction and use of a Fairlight CMI, can get to number 1, in my humble opinion, this track is deserving of number 2.
Interesting.
Yeah, that could be, yeah, there's a couple different ways that could be interpreted. But yeah, if this song gets like high up on the charts, like I think that would be really amazing.
Yeah.
And Kevin Pearson says this actually sounds promising. I wish the bass had a little more punch. Steve's guitar work is great. Shellen's drumming sounds a little bit 80s-ish, but it works. Davison's vocals are better as time goes by. Downs' keyboard theme is interesting and actually sounds a little more like Yes than he usually does. All in all, I would rate the song a solid 4 out of 5, and if the rest of the album is as good, then it will be enjoyable.
I agree.
Yeah. So, Henry Potts just commented saying only 3 times rookie numbers and did a winky face emoji.
Been busy, and I slept part of the time for a few hours last night. But yeah, I'm going to dig in for sure.
Yeah, I've listened to it maybe 10 times at most. It's been a busy day, but yeah, again, I applaud them for making new music, and this is a nice taste of what's to come.
Do we know the schedule of, I think there's at least one more coming out again real soon, correct?
Yeah, I remember hearing there may be like a second single. Again, it'll have a music video as well.
And that's the full release is May 19th?
Yeah.
That's the day before a big show.
Oh yeah, for 10 years of Germ Talk TV. Yeah.
Yeah.
Looking at the track list, I'm kind of curious like which song they might choose as the next single.
I'm gonna
Um,
guess. You give a guess, and then I'll give a guess.
okay. I'm gonna guess "Living Out Their Dream" because it has a shorter runtime, and um, the final track on the main album, "Circles of Time," is also short. But I don't think they're gonna put out the final track as the single.
I
I feel
agree.
like
And
they would
there's two
probably choose
other.
something earlier.
Yeah, I totally agree with all that. And there's two other short songs, but they're bonus tracks on the
Yeah.
second CD. I don't think they'd put those out. So I
Right.
think it's. I agree. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, so we have the same answer.
Yeah. Believe it or not.
Okay. Yeah, because like theoretically they could put out like I don't think they would put out either of the long tracks in full because that would maybe
Too much of a spoiler.
yeah, too much of a spoiler, and I don't think they'd edit them down because I think that would kind of detract from what either of those have to offer. So living out their dream makes the most sense to me.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Um,
agree. We'll see what happens.
yeah. Um, and I'm glad that people are enjoying this song. So
Yeah, when
that's
are tour dates released? Do you know? I didn't see the whole release that we got from Sharon, so I
right.
don't know if they're
So it doesn't mention the tour, but we know that just based on their website, they're still doing the Relayer tour for like the album series. They're touring in Europe from May 7th through June 20th. And oh wait, I'm sorry. Those so they end in the UK on June 20th. So they end the European leg on June 7th, and then tour throughout the UK from June 10th through June 20th. So if we're to compare to their tour schedule last year, I my guess is they'll probably do Japan after and then US in the autumn. So yeah, again, just comparing like touring schedule from last year. So
hmm
very curious to see how much of the album they incorporate into the set list.
Yeah.
It could be a couple, it could be a few, but yeah, we'll just have to wait and see.
Cool. Let us know, folks, what you think. And Henry, I will listen to the song a lot more times, I promise, and give some more feedback on our next show about how I feel about it after it's sunk in and marinated a little bit.
Yeah, and in terms of when we'll be on again, I just saw that there are a couple more comments. So Henry Potts says for the quest, single number 2 was song number 2, and the first two singles were 7 and 6 minutes long. So I think we might
Good
get
point.
all connected as single number 2.
Interesting. That'd be neat.
Yeah, because look at the track list. Yeah, all connected is a 9 minute one. So I
That'd be
mean,
so cool.
yeah, it could be interesting if they do that. Dave Watkinson says, "How about the wah wah pedal at the end?
Oh, yeah.
A bit of Peter Banks' early Yes, maybe."
A little psychedelia in there, here and there. Some textures. I think there might be Steve's sitar, electric sitar in there. Yeah, I forgot to mention that. I love the little sprinkles of psychedelia and at the very end. That wow, 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 wow. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah. So we might go live again March 15th. That's what we've been planning. But the topic, it'll depend on like whether or like we've reached out about potential interviews. So whether that next broadcast is an interview or a different topic, best thing to do would be to follow us on facebook.com/Yesshift, and we'll post what the topic will be and we'll pin it. And you can also find us at youtube.com/@Yesshift, and go to anchor.fm/Yesshift to see the audio and click the support button if you want to send in a little donation to us if you'd like. And
It's $100 minimum, by the way. And I want to mention to Eli that just for clarity, I haven't listened to the whole album 3 times, just the one song that they've released.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
And you can email us at yesshiftpodcast@gmail.com with comments and show suggestions. And yeah, again, very glad to see a bunch of positive comments for this song. Glad it's resonating with people, and very curious to see what the rest of the album is like.
Absolutely. So we'll keep you posted on our social media channels about when we're coming on again and what we'll be doing. And we appreciate you following us. If you have, by any chance, friends that are fellow prog heads or yes heads, go ahead and share this around.
Wait, prog heads have friends?
Oh, yeah.
I'm kidding.
All right. Thanks, everybody, so much. We will see you soon. Have a wonderful weekend whenever you're watching this, even if it's Wednesday. Thanks, everyone.
Bye.